Hey everyone, welcome to another painting session. The kids are asleep, so I can finally get to some hobby. So tonight I'm going to be painting Cortnay Penrose. He's from A Song of Ice and Fire as well, and he's from the Baratheon Heroes box number 2 with Renly's crew. So I'm going to jump straight into it. Alright, so Cortnay Penrose, he is the Castellan of Storm's End and one of Renly Baratheon's most famous and trustworthy lieutenants or alliances, or whatever you want to call it, I guess. So if you're back on the channel, then obviously you're interested in these little painting sessions that I'm holding, especially with the social distancing and lockdown and all that. So I'm glad you guys have come back to watch another video. Hopefully I can power through some of the Renly Baratheon hero characters. Right, so the mountain stone is going to go as the base coat for the rock. Oop, I used the wrong brush. What did I do that for? I'm off to a fly already. So yeah, this is the good old I don't care brush, because quite frankly I don't care what happens to it. So yeah, so modeling this particular model, as you can see, I've decided to put him on a rock. It is made out of real stones, not cork. So because it's so rough, I decided to use this brush so it doesn't ruin the nice brush that I use, which is the Raphael. I do have Da Vinci brushes also. They're pretty good brushes. They keep to the tip, obviously, as long as you look after it. And I've used some GW ones. They're a bit hit and miss. I find that the bristles and the point don't last as long, even with a good brush soap. I've had some army painted brushes over the years as well, and they've lasted longer than GW brushes, so you know, it's really saying a lot. They were saying that the Winsor Newtons are like, basically the brushes of Winsor Newtons are rebranded to Games Workshop ones, which is fair enough, but I don't really use Winsor Newton brushes myself because I haven't had a good experience with them, whereas the Raphaels and Da Vinci's I've had nothing but positive experiences. The Red Grass Games have also come out with their own line of brushes. I think they rebranded Da Vinci ones, because I was told they come out of Germany. I could be wrong. Someone could probably clarify that. It might have been Germany. I know it was a European country. And so because they came out of, you know, that certain country, they think it might just be rebranded Da Vinci's. Alright, so that is the mountain stone. So what I'm going to do when that dries, I'm going to hit it with stone wash, which is a really nice really dark toned grey. Perfect for stone. Perfect. So for Courtney's skin color, I'm going to go with fair shadow as well. I did sort of debate whether or not I want to use the fair shadow or the, I'll let you have a look here, not amber gold, where is it? Here we go. It's, so the final highlight would have been a golden skin. Okay, the triad colors for those, so golden skin is that medium one, and then golden shadow obviously is the darker tone, with the final highlight being golden highlight. I was I was gonna use that color, but I just decided to do the fair. Cortnay Penrose is considered a middle-aged man, so I mean, I suppose you could go something for more pale, but just to be on the safe side, I decided to go with fair skin. I don't know if you can see, but I didn't clean the model from the mold lines. Naughty me. So I might probably end up regretting that. Because sometimes, you know, I just get a little too lazy and I just get too excited to paint and prime them that I forget to clean them up. Okay, so that's the head and hands done, so we're going to move on to the cape. Now, in the books is described as having sort of a, I think, maroon terracotta type color with the cape, and of course he wears the natural yellow for the Baratheon house colors. Alright, so for the darker maroon sort of colors, I'm going to go with redstone. So that'll be the tri-colors that I use. So I'll be, you know, obviously mixing and matching and blending them all in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that on his cape. Alright. I don't know where I'm going to be able to put that in this model if I do decide to freehand it. As with the last video, I said I would freehand, but I just didn't want to ruin Estemont's cape or anything like that. And we're going to go over the cape with the first layer of redstone shadow. Alright, so I'm just finishing up the red shadow on the cloak. So I was doing a bit of research as well, and the main color for House Penrose is brown reddish colors. So I might make it a tad easier for myself by making his inner uniform a different shade of red, but it'll still be red. But his trimmings and stuff, I think I like the yellow on the trims. So if you can see it there, but around that area there, I'll make that yellow. So I'm going to hit that with the chestnut gold. He does have a bit of armor as well, so we'll do that in the usual steel colors. So yeah, it does look like he's wearing a breastplate as well, so that'll be steel. He does have like this garment on, so that'll be the red color, along with that part there with armies, and that'll be steel there, just on this part here with the van braces. Alright, so let's I guess we'll do a different shade of red. So for the inside, I'm going to be using this sort of shade of brownish red. So it'll be mahogany brown, chestnut brown, and then a layer of rust brown for the highlights. So I'm going to hit the inside with the mahogany brown, and you can already see that it's coming up as a different shade already. So a different shade of brown red. So the other bits where I want the red to come through is on the scabbard as well. So the little trims on the scabbard. So I'm going to put the mahogany brown on those parts as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go for the darker tone for the armor. The sword is just gonna be as normal. It's gonna be like brightish. So I'll go through the normal process with the steel on the sword. But yeah, you can actually see his crest just hiding underneath all that detail at the front. Yeah. Okay. So let's quickly do the sword. Oh, actually, he's got more armor than I thought. So he's got armor plates on his legs, his knees. I guess you can sort of paint it as leather as well, but I think I'll do his leggings as steel and armor. The scabbard, I might just do black. Can't go wrong with black. So like a noir black sort of color. Yeah, I think a noir black sort of color. Can't go wrong with that. You can also see the detail behind his legs. It looks like cloth, so I'll go through that with some black as well. Alright, so I'm slowly getting there with the metals. Not much metal on this guy. Blends into the sword, and then we're going to go over the black next. Just let me have a look if I've missed anything. But as soon as this dries, I'm going to hit it with the with steel wash. I'll do that after I do the blacks, the black colors. Oh, you can actually see his pauldron, a little bit of the pauldron coming through there. I'm not sure if that's chainmail. It doesn't look like it. So it might be leather or something soft. So I'm going to use it as the same color as the cloth clothing. So that's going to be mahogany brown. And then I'll just go over it with black. I'll go through the trims in black like the rest of his outfit. Okay. The crest will also be mahogany brown. Okay, so while I wait for the reds to dry, what I might do is just go over the skin with wash down flesh wash. So again, it's you can use flow improver, but I prefer to use the Lamy and medium with this. I mean, the flow improver really is just to lighten like paints, like the acrylic paints. Lamy and medium I think is better for the washes. Flesh washes here somewhere, there you go. So flesh wash over here. Okay. The main reason for this is just to shade the skin, because sometimes flesh wash can be a bit too strong for your liking. In this case, I prefer to use the medium. Wash down version of it. Obviously I'm going to keep that for later on as well, because once I go over the skin again with fair skin, there's going to be some areas where I want more detail and more shading, and that's where the flesh wash with the medium helps as well. definitely lasts longer on the wet palette. So next up, we're going to use Noir Black, and I'm going to use it on the edges and the trims. So I'm not going to go for the yellow anymore, because I did a bit of reading again. Yeah, the colors that most of the artwork seemed to hit that the Penroses had sort of the dominant color would have been the red and the brown, and then the trims wouldn't have been that bright. So I'm going to use black and gray. Stuff like the belt I'm still going to do is leather, so that'll be wood stained brown base, I guess. Yep, wood stained brown. The scabbard I'm going to do is Noir Black as well. So the Noir Black's going to go around the shoes as well, the boots, sorry. So adding Noir Black on the boots. The hilt is also going to cop some Noir Black. And of course, the little trims that's coming out of his pauldron. That'll be black as well. Okay. So there's not going to be much leather with Cortnay's outfit, so really it's just the belt that goes down to the scabbard. So majority of that of the leather part is actually going underneath his breastplate. And yeah, so I'll hit that with leather as well. Just the buckle that goes around the scabbard. Initially I painted that mahogany brown. Alright, so that's that. So I've got most of the colors that are gonna be the first layer. His beard, I'm probably going to do almost second last. I can probably do that right after the face. Okay. And as usual, for good brush maintenance, hit it with the brush soap if I can find it. Oh, it's right here. So we're going to start working on bringing up the layers, but before that, let's do some washes. So I'm gonna get an older brush, and we're gonna go over the his breastplate and all that stuff with steel wash. So I'm not even going to bother washing this down with lime medium. Just going to go straight over the metals with this wash because I want it to be darker. So I'm going to be a little bit careful here because I want to run this wash where there's a recess on the sword itself. Alright, so nice and straight down the line there. Not even going to bother doing the back. Okay. Right, so I guess the first bit that we're going to do is probably going to be the cape. So that's going to be the redstone. It'll be the redstone color. So we'll get the palette. That's this lot here. So your medium tone, dark tone, highlight. Okay. So we're going to be bringing them up layer by layer, probably about, well, just like every other cape that I've done, I guess 5 or 6 layers will do. And again, just keep bringing it up with more of the paint from the mid-tone, and that'll get you a nice smooth blend from mid-tone to the shadow tone. So again, we want to keep it pretty dark. We don't want it to be too bright. Of course, you could make it brighter if you really wanted to, if that's your jam, and you want to make his colors more stand out. For this case, we are going to make it darker than usual. Alright, so just in the darker bits, like the inner part of the clock, I'll just make this a bit darker. Make the shade a bit darker, especially, you know, between the legs. Alright, so that's how it's looking at the moment. Just bring it under the light a bit more. There you go. You can probably see that a bit better. Oop. Like that. And then now it'll just be straight up mid-tone. Alright, and then after that you can mix a little bit of the highlight. with the mid-tone, and just grab the extreme highlights in the edges. So things like it all depends where your light source is coming from, but again, my light source is always coming from a 90-degree angle, so I try to maintain that consistency with the army. Okay, so that's the cloak. I'll just wash this brush very quickly. So that's the cloak right there. Alright, and that's done with the terracotta redstone colors, sorry, which is, you know, pretty much the same as terracotta, I feel. Alright, so next up we're gonna do the inside part. So his clothing, so that's going to be, again, it's going to be chestnut brown and it's going to be rust brown. Okay, so the chestnut brown is going to be the mid-tone. The crest will be the same color, so I might as well just add that on now. Alright, so we're going to go over another layer of the chestnut brown, which is the mid-tone, and again we're just going to be bringing the layers up. Okay, so that's the medium tone mixed with some black. So now we're going to just go over the higher recesses with straight up chestnut brown. Okay. So maybe I can bring it a little bit closer. Sometimes zoom and the focus doesn't work properly. Yeah, you can see the different tones there. This is definitely a lot more terracotta like, whereas this has got that reddish brownish look, which is what I was really aiming for. Alright, now the final highlight, using, what's it called? Rust brown. Using rust brown, because again I don't want it to be too bright. I just want it to pop. Okay, and that is the inside of the cloth done. All right, so again, not too extreme, not too bright, just right, I think. All right, while I'm here, we're gonna do some rich leather. That'll be just for that one piece, one strip of the belt. So this should be very quick. Now while that's drying, I'm going to bring out the grey. This is one of the more frequently used greys that I've had. Can't even see the name, but it is 09088. I'm pretty sure I've got another one here. Let me quickly have a look. It's 6. No, it's not stone grey, but I think it's called rainy grey. Rainy or cloudy grey? No, cloudy grey is the mid-tone. Yeah, so I think it's storm grey. And I've got another one here somewhere. Ah, here we go. Stormy grey. Stormy grey. This one's gonna be finished. This is about the third or fourth bottle that I've gone through with the stormy grey, because I used to use this at the very start just to mix black with anything, because I used to paint a lot of Starks, and you know, obviously Starks are mostly, you know, blackish, greyish sort of colors, dull grey, bright grey, and that was my mid-tone for everything, and I was just mixing it left, right, and center. So I went through a lot of that. Then obviously I started with the Baratheons, and I started using more browns. The same thing with Targaryens, more browns. Lannisters, well, it's all red and gold for them. That's why that pot's been able to stick around. But for Penrose here, old mate Penrose, he's going to get some noir black with the grey just over here, just on the grey areas. So things like the boots. So the boots I've gone over with a bit of red. It's getting a bit careless. But now this is my chance to sort of fix that up. Right, so the hilt of the sword, the handle of the sword is going to get the same treatment. And of course the trims on the pauldron. Now I avoided painting the inner part of the pauldron with the reds. Basically just left it with the shadow sort of brownish color. I didn't bother highlighting that little bit. It's a very minute piece of detail, but I mean, I suppose if it gets to you, you could paint it up, but in this case, I mean, you can't really tell. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go back to the leather. And that's more of the leather that I'm aiming for. Now I will go through that one more time with a bit of, like what I did last time, just that got a bit of the fair skin added to the leather, and away I went. The hilt, sword. Of course, pauldron itself. Probably just one more bit of highlight where the greys are. So for this step, I'm gonna go misty grey. So I'm gonna skip the mid tone, and I'm gonna go jump straight into the mid grey, into the misty grey, which is the final highlight for the triad for the greens. Sorry, the greys. And I can sort of just mix it together till I get the grey that I want. Okay, so that'll be on stuff like the trims, pauldron, the very top of the scabbard, and parts where the grey trim is sort of exposed into possibly where the light would hit it. Right, we're getting somewhere. Alright, hilt, dab there, dab here, dab there, dab there. Okay. Oh, the shoes as well, sorry, the boots. Not boots, missed out on the boots. Alright. Yeah, because he's standing on the rock, you can't cover up the mistakes as much with the tuft, because the tufts will look a bit awkward there. The sand as well look a bit weird, so you kind of have to be a bit more careful, especially when you do the wash with the stone wash and possibly another layer mountain grey. Actually, definitely another layer of mountain grey. Okay. Just patch up one little bit here. But yeah, this is what it's looking like at the moment. Okay, so you can see the little details that I've spent a bit of extra time on, especially with the greys. I should go back and do the leather. That here and here. Okay, so that really stands out, which I really like. As soon as it becomes dry, it won't be as bright. That's it there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the armor. And then hone steel, which is the medium tone. So that'll be my brightest point, I think. That'll be my brightest point with the metals. So obviously something dark will need to get mixed. And really just concentrating on the edges. Alright, it's looking better. Again, just concentrating on the edges. Okay, so while the paint's still a bit wet, we'll go to the final highlight. It's pure stone honed steel. Okay, so this one very subtle drops here and there. Again, where the light's more likely to hit, so the outer part of the sword. The edge just along here. And of course the vambrace. Weird, you can do just a line, I guess. Derpy. Alright. That's pretty much it for the armor. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know how else we could change that up. I guess you could go over some bits with the Lamy and medium with the blade steel. Actually, you know what? I'll do that. So I've still got a little bit of steel wash. So not much, but there's enough. And I guess we'll just fix up where I may have gone a bit too much with the highlight. There's not much, because actually I'm pretty happy with most of that. So that's it for the armor and the sword. Probably missing something, but yeah, pretty happy with that. All right, we'll wait for the wash to dry. So what I'm gonna do, put the steel wash back, and let's go over the mountain stone again. Okay, so what I'll do later on is I'll wash that with stone wash. Just obviously not now because it's still a bit wet. And while that's happening, let's go ahead and do his beard. Well, there's some conflicting stories of him having either auburn hair or brown hair. So I guess I'm just gonna go with the auburn sort of color. Let me just put this back so my intense browns are there. Yeah, so there's conflicting reports of his hair color, so I'm just gonna go straight up with auburn hair, I guess. Not too bright, not to the point where it looks like a carrot top. Luckily, he doesn't have that much hair on top, but that means I do have to focus on the skin a bit more. So okay, so for this set, auburn shadow, carrot top red, and what's this? Highlight orange. That's like nightlight orange. Okay, so that'll be for the beard. Alright, so starting off with auburn shadow. To get a darker sort of blend, I could mix it in with the rest of the browns that I've already used, because a lot of it actually looks the same. So that the color that I'm using now for the dark auburn shadow looks almost similar to the mid-tone for the mahogany brown Yeah. So if you sort of mix it in, obviously you're going to get a different tone, or you can go in between and mix a bit of both. But actually, what I'll do for an even darker shadow is to mix it with the mahogany brown. I'll do that. Again, it is going to be a dark shade. I'm going to make the hair darker, not too bright. I want the carrot top to be which is the mid-tone. I want that to be the main color, and I guess adding a bit of highlight orange would be just for very extreme highlights. I have to admit, my painting technique has really changed. I would say for the better ever since I started using the wet palette. It really is a godsend, because it means you can mix colors and not lose it so easily. It doesn't dry, it won't cake so easily. It stays on your palette for longer. The obvious reasons, of course. Alright, so that's might take a while to dry too. But you know what? While I'm here, I'll do the fair shadow, because we're here already. But yes, since switching to a wet palette, I really enjoyed it more, to be honest with you. Obviously the paints last longer because you are not using as much. And yeah, and you could experiment with a lot of like shades and paints and whatnot. You could just, yeah, it's just the sorry, I'm at a loss for words, just concentrating. It's yeah, you can really experiment, and your only limit really is your imagination. Alright, my man Cortnay Penrose looking like Kojak there. Alright, so that's his head. I'll add a bit more water. So I'm going to do the hand. Going back to the auburn hair. So I've done the auburn hair. Now it's time for me to go to the carrot top red. So as usual, just mixing it together to get that mid-tone between the auburn and the carrot top red. Finish off the beard. I actually went over some of the skin, so I'm gonna go fix that up. Oop, and I just went over it again. So luckily I've still got the dark. It's looking a lot better. Excellent. Alright, so and then after that I'm going to go straight over the highlights again, this time straight up carrot top red. I'm actually just a little bit of auburn shadow. I can go over this with pure auburn, pure carrot top red. And then I can hit with the very extreme highlight of highlight orange. Little dab there, and I'm gonna mix that with the carrot top red, and that should do it. Okay. Yeah, liking that color. Loving it. Alright, so little dabs. Boom. Done. Beautiful. Alright. So I'll show that to you. Okay, so that's all we've got so far. So while I won't do the skin yet, what I'll do is I'll do the skin now, bugger it. What I was going to do is going to do the stone wash, but we'll do the skin now. So, alright, so I'll start off with his forehead. I mean, again, you could always go back and fix it up with the flesh wash. So I am banking on some mistakes. So stuff for the ears. Medium tone, straight up fair shadow now. So getting smaller and smaller with these highlights. Just need to thin that down a bit more just to smoothen it out. You know, he does have a nice bold mug on him. Was Cortnay Penrose actually in the TV show? I don't think he was. I think Axel Florent might have had a very minimal role on the TV show where he was Axel Florent. I'm pretty sure it's Axel Florent on the TV show version. It's a very minimal role where he doubts Melisandre. I don't know, is that right? And she poisons him. Well, he tries to poison her, but she drinks the poison and nothing happens to her. But he obviously succumbs to the poison. I'm sure that's Axel Florent. It's funny because in the books he's a devout member of Relo. Right. So, and then this will mix the fair highlight with the fair shadow. Just go on over the chrome really, because that is where the light is hitting him the most. Probably a bit on the nose. and the mouth and the cheekbones. Right, and then I can grab the Lamy and medium wash and just etch it a bit into the eyebrows. Just hit it one more time around the eyebrows. Right, so I'll get you to have a look at that. Okay, so more sort of the fair highlight at the top. Okay, and next, what do I do next? Oh, the eyes, yes. So for this, I want a clean brush. Okay, right, so we're up to the eyes. I don't have to make it completely white. I've got Misty Grey here already, so I'm going to use that. Just going to steal Misty Grey. Thanks very much. The color we used for the terracotta, how's that? And we'll make them look straight ahead. Yeah, I knew I'd stuff that up. Right. So patching it up. So still got some Lamy medium here with the flesh wash, and we'll go with the cheekbones. And we'll go over the little patch that I stuffed up. So definitely getting better with patching up faces, especially when I do the eyes. Always stuff it up. You look kind of young, Penrose. Shouldn't be the case, but as long as you look good. Again, it's supposed to look middle-aged. So yeah. Looking like a dwarf and shit. Okay, alright, cool. So that'll be it, I guess. I don't think I could fix the face any further. In terms of freehand, nah. I don't bother. I mean, I could do some design to make them look pretty, but I don't think Penrose is that sort of bloke. Oh, actually, I need to do the quills. Okay, so I've got the weathered white here ready. Misty Grey. Again, as I was saying, I don't think Penrose is that sort of bloke to be to have designs on his cloak being, I don't know, even being a Castellan of Storm's End. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Where is it? is it more of me not wanting to see it because I don't want to do it? Definitely sounds like the latter. Alright. Will you be able to see the white if I did it? Probably, so we're going to go ahead and do it. So, white on the quill. And the only thing we need to do next really is just to wash the stone and then base it up. So again, we're just going over the quill. That'll be really the last bit of detail we do in the model itself. And then we're on to the base. Oh no, shit, I forgot the stone. Oh, duh. Alright, but that's in there, looking pretty schmick. There you go. Yeah, not gonna dirty freehand, bugger that. For this process, we're going to use stone wash, if I can find it. Stone wash, really, really nice concrete color. Yeah, you can use it for concrete. So if you're painting modern day stuff, Walking Dead, Crisis Protocol, stuff like that, you can definitely use this to shade and wash your concrete colors. Alright, so that's gotten the wash treatment on the stone, so it's time to go over the base with Steel Legion Drap. So because that's a pretty liberal coverage with the Steel Legion Drap, so this might take some time to dry. So I'll let it dry, then we'll get back to it. So the wash on the stone is pretty much dry, so it's time to go over it with a layer of mountain stone. And the mid-tone that we're going to use is stone grey. Okay, and I'll bring it out later on, but for now let's just hit this with another layer of stone grey. Mountain stone. It's getting late. You gotta understand. Making so much mistakes now. And now you sort of just want to dry brush, dry brush the rest. Of course, you want to be a bit careful with a dry brush because you don't want it on the model itself. Some people, you might want to get some dry brush onto it and have some dirt. But in my case, I don't want any on the model itself, so I'm going to be extra careful with the way I dry brush it. So this, I'm just going to put it straight to the paper towel instead of putting it into the wet palette, so it's dry straight away. And all I'm going to do is pick it out with the dry brush, and yeah, away you go. I guess a little bit of dirt on the shoes doesn't hurt. We'll go over it. This won't be even a blend, so we'll just go over it with weathered stone. Yeah. You could gradually blend it in with the dry brush. Yeah, by mixing it up. At least that way it doesn't look too extreme. And we'll just go over the edges. And yeah, we'll be covering most of the mistakes with cover it up with some tufts just to hide it. Bit of hobby cheating. Alright, so pretty happy with that. We'll leave it at that. So the last bit, PVA glue to add as the sand. To add the sand. And then obviously we'll do the tufts last. Okay. Okay. Alright. Now just gotta be careful to take them off, because I don't want him. I mean, he's just glued on to the base. I mean, there's a good chance that he'll stick on, but you never know. If you pull too hard, it could come off the base completely. Okay, so just dip it in, tap off the excess. On the side, using my tweezer. I'll just add that there, so additional rock right there, and then I'm going to go for the tuft. Army Painter, Lowland Shrubs, and I've mixed additional flowers and roses, so I alternate really. Put a bit of white, some purple, because obviously the purple and the yellow have a good contrast with each other. But for this one, I think I'm just going to put one big clump of low brush. Let's see, where can I put it? I guess I can put it within the shrubs right there. Oop, it's come off. There we are. And then I might add purple. Now with the purple, that's the lavender flowers. Alright. Could do one more purple patch, I guess. Put it at the back as well. So just here. Alright, so you can see that. So I've gone majority purple with Mr. Penrose here. And there you have it. Finished Mr. Penrose for House Baratheon, representing Team Renly. So again, I hope you like these videos. I'm enjoying them, to be honest with you. It's giving me motivation to finish painting off the models, and of course sharing with you some knowledge. I mean, I'm not the most knowledgeable painter out there, but you know, whatever I can to help others who are new to the hobby and open-minded and want to learn new things. So again, if you're really into these things and you want me to do more videos, next up, I'm thinking about doing Loris Tyrell next. I do have some Walking Dead minis that I want to paint as well, so I might do those as well. Okay, so yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe, let your friends know about it, let them know about the channel, and yeah, we hope to see you in future painting tutorials.